Boy, do we have a lot to talk about this week surrounding the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. The Cowboys fall on the road against the Atlanta Falcons, but return home this week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time of 2 games this season with their NFC East foe. Welcome into Special Edition. We've got Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Barry, I'll start with you. Cowboys at 3-5. It hasn't been pretty for this team recently, and it doesn't get much easier now with Dak Prescott heading to IR, out for a significant period of time with a hamstring injury. But there's a lot more going wrong with this football team at the moment. Where do the Cowboys go from here?
Honestly, Kyle, I believe you just got to take it game by game. I understand that might be coach talk, and, everybody kind of looks at it just like, it goes in one ear and out the other. But you got to seriously take it one game at a time. Defensively, this team played better, last week against the Atlanta Falcons. That rushing attack wasn't as potent as it has been against this team in the past. And offensively, you got to just quit the penalties, the pre-snap penalties that hurt you. You're not a good enough team to overcome those type of penalties. But to me, you just got to take it game by game.
Yeah, you take it game by game, but then the old saying of fake it till you make it. That's what you have to do. You have to fake the confidence until you instill real confidence. Right now, you're about to face the Philadelphia Eagles that you're familiar with. You know these guys. You know this personnel. You know the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, he was here. You know Vic Fangio. You've had your battles with him. Start with that and give these guys the confidence they need to go out there and put their best effort forward.
Just as a player, you got to do a little bit of extra work, a little bit of extra film work, a little bit of working out on the field. You have to get a little bit more with your quarterback, wide receivers, and running backs. You have to be certain in who you are and what you're doing. And if you do that right there, things will start to grow.
Now, I mentioned Dak Prescott, the hamstring injury, at least midway through the week. It sounds like it's even more significant than originally feared for Dak. And headed to IR is certainly happening for Dak, but also it's past that now. Where does this Cowboys team and how significant is it without him in the fold? Nate, I'll start with you. How much confidence do you have in Cooper Rush that he can get this team where they want to go?
He's done it before. Things change a little bit better. You're going to do more 3-step, 5-step drops, get the ball out of his hand to protect him. And you may want to run the ball a little bit more, but, you just run the same offense, keep it as consistent as you can.
As long as you give protection to Cooper Rush, you're going to be in good hands, okay? And I'm not talking about no insurance, all right? You're going to be just fine with Cooper Rush. He delivers the ball on time. He trusts his footwork. He knows exactly where to go in the progressions, and he throws a very accurate ball. As long as he has time, he has a chance, and these guys have to catch the ball and make plays for him when he decides to give it to him.
Yeah, Cooper Rush, to me, the Cowboys understand who they have in Cooper Rush, all right? He's the ultimate professional out there. He understands when his name is called, it's time to go step up there and play. When Dak Prescott went down with that injury a couple years back during that 5-game stretch, he went 4-1 out there. So this is a guy that has the respect of his teammates in the locker room and understands what he has to do to get this team over the hump or at least perform at a high level offensively. So I believe Cooper Rush can be that guy.
He does get a little extra help. The Cowboys make a trade with Jonathan Mingo from Carolina. Let's hear from Mike McCarthy on why the trade was made.
We definitely liked him in the draft process, and he has a lot of the characteristics that you look for that I believe are necessary in a receiver. So we're excited for the opportunity to have him part of it.
So Jonathan Mingo, former second-round pick in his 2023 draft out of Ole Miss. Cowboys had him as a 30 visit. They had him as a second-round grade on their board. They loved Jonathan Mingo, but he hasn't necessarily had the success that they anticipated in Carolina in a bad offense, Isaiah. How much can he help this current Cowboys team?
I hope that we can eventually say bingo on Mingo, because right now we don't know a whole lot about him. Outside of what he's done, obviously, down there in Carolina, which obviously statistically doesn't pop off the film. But, maybe he has a resurgence here. Maybe he's that guy that they once saw that they wanted to recruit and get here in the draft process. And hopefully he can come add some value to this offense.
He will add some value. You have no other choice. You gave up a 4th. And this 4th, the way it looks, is going to be a high pick for. We got to get this guy prepped and ready to go.
That's the big critique from Cowboys fans is the compensation. The reason that they paid that much or felt like they needed to was because he's under contract on a rookie deal for the next 2.5 years. So they felt like that's where the value was. They get a 7th-round pick in return, whether you agree or not. That's what they've got going up into the front office. When we come back, though, we're going to hear about more Cooper Rush. We're going to hear from Isaiah Stanback, who breaks down the film. How can Cooper Rush help elevate this offense moving forward?
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
You know, I've seen what Cooper Rush can do. You know, that's a good boy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Cooper Rush got a lot of talent. He won games for us by just doing the basics, just playing good football. So it's not like he can't do it. I got full faith in him. We won four out of 5 games with him.
Micah Parsons, who returned to the practice field this week, has faith that Cooper Rush can come in and get the job done filling in for Dak Prescott at the quarterback position. We have our resident quarterback, Emmy Award-winning Super Bowl champion, but Isaiah Stanback, I need you to tell me exactly how Cooper Rush can help elevate this Cowboys team, even against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, which presents its own challenges.
Well, let's start out by doing this, okay? I understand that everybody's in mourning from Dak Prescott not being present, okay? Sure. He's going to be out for a while. But guess what? Don't rush to conclusions because Cooper Rush is 5-1 as a starter for the Dallas Cowboys. That should give you a bolt of confidence that know that not only has he been around and the guys trust him, but he has proven in this organization and with this team. So let's show you why he's been successful and show you what he did last week when he had to step in for Mr. Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush up here. Well, you guys are going to see this defensive line run some stunts, okay? We know stunts are a big thing for defenses, especially the Philadelphia Eagles. It causes a lot of confusion up front, and this play is no different. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line does not do a great job of picking up this particular stunt. You're going to see it coming around. Boom. What should be happening here as we pause here is we should be picking up this guy, and everything should be washed out. We should be perfectly fine, but we're not. There's pressure right here, and we all know quarterbacks hate internal pressure. But you know who's not worried? This man right here. Cooper Rush's eyes are staying down the field. He is looking off this safety. What safety? This safety right here, okay? This safety right here is being looked off. He doesn't know where Cooper Rush is going. That's not where he's going with the ball. He's looking to the right as we play it through. You guys are going to see at the bottom of your screen, Mr. Cavante Turpin is going to do a good job of running a nice deep in route right here. And when he does that, look at what Cooper Rush does. Cooper Rush steps up, works his way in the pocket, pause right there. The ball is now released. That is anticipation. There is a man on him. Let's go ahead and look at it. Right now, there's a big man right there on him, and he is throwing the ball on money, on time to his man right here, Mr. Cavante Turpin. Now, if we pause it right here, boom, ball is on him. Cooper Rush is now on the ground. If Cavante Turpin just continued, that would have been a touchdown right there. I don't know what he was thinking on this particular play. He reverses out and decides to come back this way. He gets tackled, but that should have been one of 3 potential touchdowns that Cooper Rush would have had in that game.
Yeah, with Turpin specifically there, it looked like he was anticipating getting hit over the top by his safety. With nobody there and with Cooper Rush looking off the safety, he had nothing but green grass in front of him. Unfortunate break for Cooper Rush, but a great throw nonetheless. That wasn't the only time he had some success, though, even in that game against Atlanta.
No, not at all. So in that particular play, what did he do? He did a good job of being under duress, stepping up, using his footwork in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, looking off the safety, and then getting to the open man for an opportunity for a touchdown. That's pretty good for a quarterback, and especially a backup quarterback. Let's go ahead and come to this opportunity right here. Now you guys are going to see where he takes a shot. I know everybody remembers the CeeDee Lamb play where he was fighting through some adversity with the shoulder pain, and he still takes a shot on him. Let's go ahead and see this ball get snapped. Okay, Cooper Rush again being there back at the quarterback position. Steps up, boom, sits back there nice and comfortable. Again, pause it. There is pressure. Pressure again, okay? Back-to-back plays. I'm not going to point out the man that's giving up the pressure, but we're going to point out the fact that Cooper Rush has trust in his guys. Again, sitting back there, play it through. All right, boom, pause it. He understands that he's under duress. Where is Cooper Rush throwing this ball? Who is he throwing it to? He's throwing it to Mr. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb right here at the top of your screen. Look where CeeDee Lamb is at. He's at the 21-yard line. Cooper Rush has already released the ball. Cooper Rush is going to throw the ball up and over all the way to about 2 or 3 yards inside the goal line with CeeDee Lamb right at the 20-yard line. He has a man on him, but he anticipates. He doesn't wait for CeeDee Lamb to get open. He throws him open, and now the ball is now literally dropping right on top of CeeDee Lamb. Unfortunately, he was dealing with some pain, did not come down with that play. But the fact that Cooper Rush stood in the pocket, knowing he was going to take a hit, takes the ball, throws it with anticipation with CeeDee Lamb 25 yards away from the target spot, drops in on him on a dime, gives him an opportunity for what? Yet another opportunity at a touchdown. Cooper Rush is the guy that you guys can know and that you guys can trust in because he has done so over and over time when his number's been called.
Cooper Rush, 5-1 as a starter for the Cowboys, and of course filling in for Dak Prescott. If he wins this week, he'll go 6-1. He'll be the third quarterback in Cowboys history, Roger Staubach, Dak Prescott, to win 6 of his first 7 starts. So lots on the line for Cooper Rush this week, filling in for Dak. But there's lots on the line for Philadelphia as well, trying to keep pace with Washington in the division. Saquon Barkley, new change of scenery has done well for him. What kind of challenge does he bring?
This segment was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, it's always a challenge when these two get together, and it's the first time, of course, this season that Dallas will see Philadelphia. Cowboys have won 6 straight home games against the Eagles dating back to 2017. I mean, Isaiah Stanback, whenever it comes to the quarterback position, you don't normally get these two teams meeting so often, but without the starters available. Dak and Jalen Hurts have only played each other twice in their entire career, and this is another game where you're going to get to see Jalen Hurts, but no Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that the Dallas Cowboys nation is necessarily happy about that, but it's okay because we just talked about Cooper Rush and how he puts the Dallas Cowboys in a position to be successful. The reality is, this Philadelphia Eagles team is strong. They're strong offensively, they're strong defensively, but offensively, obviously, they have a lot of weapons. The only thing that Dallas can hope for right now is that they are down a weapon with Devontae Smith being on the injury report this week. So they have to be able to stop the run game. Obviously, they're very familiar with Kellen Moore. That's something that they should rest their hat on. You know exactly who he is, you know his schemes, and now hopefully you can get the jump on him.
Yeah, speaking of Kellen Moore, him and Jalen Hurts have really got their mojo going right now. I mean, when you look at it, the first couple games is a little bit of a struggle turning the football over, but I believe the past 5 games, Jalen Hurts has not turned the football over as far as interception-wise. He knows the weapons that he has on the outside, and they've come together and realized in order for this offense to be as potent as they want it to be, give the ball to Saquon Barkley. I mean, this guy has been phenomenal for them this entire season. Jalen Hurts has done a great job of basically getting all his playmakers involved, and when Saquon Barkley's out there, A.J. Brown and those guys, this offense is extremely difficult to stop.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley's been incredible. I mean, this hurdle right here just is a microcosm of what he's been doing. He's averaging 6 yards per carry throughout the entire season, Nate. I mean, what he's doing is special, and he has a squad around him as opposed to what we've seen during his time in New York.
Coach Moore has really dedicated himself to repairing his offense and turning it more into a run game because you have the great Saquon Barkley, and he's done a great job. He's at 20 catches for 146 yards and 2 TDs. So he's very much changed the way he do things, Coach Moore. Great job, sir.
Just trying to cut down on the splash plays. That's where these guys really get lit up. The Philadelphia Eagles really rely on Saquon Barkley to be that splash play guy for them right now. So if you can kind of, quote-unquote, bottle him up and not allow him to have those plus 20 games, plus 20-yard receptions, then you might find yourself in a good position to win a ball game.
He's been a fantasy football manager's nightmare or saving grace this season. He's been fantastic. Now, they also have weapons on the outside, Barry. Which one of these guys concerns you the most out of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and, of course, Josh Dotson on the outside as well?
The guy that concerns me the most is A.J. Brown. I mean, when this guy is out there and he's healthy, he's a difference maker for this Philadelphia offense. I mean, he's a mismatch nightmare out there, and we all understand what he brings to the table. But you cannot sleep on the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, as well. I mean, this is a guy that makes plays, whether it's deep down the football field. He's got the ability to take shallows and slants 60 yards down the field as well. This is a guy that the Cowboys cannot sleep on as well.
All these guys are a little banged up as well. Devontae Smith missed practice. Earlier in the week, Dallas Goedert was limited. Now, Isaiah, turning the attention to the defensive side of the ball, what did they do best there?
Get after the quarterback. I mean, these guys are top 5 in terms of pass, in terms of passes and yards allowed, and they're not allowing them many yards. The top of the league in terms of defense, in terms of rush defense as well. So you have them; they're effective, and it starts with the big fellas up front. And I know Big Nate Dogg loves his big fellas up front. Them big Georgia boys in the middle. They're an absolute problem, and the interior offensive line's got to get better this week.
No doubt about it. You've got, of course, an opportunity here for the Cowboys to get back on track, but it's not going to be easy with a team this loaded. When we come back, the Cowboys did continue their work in the community by kicking off the Veterans Day celebration early with Dallas Cowboys players in the National Medal of Honor Museum.
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
Veterans Day is fast approaching, and so is the opening of the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington, Texas. The Dallas Cowboys have partnered with the city of Arlington and, of course, the veterans that are helping with this project along the way to continue to serve those who served our country once before. Let's hear from Nicole Hutchison on site at the National Medal of Honor Museum.
Dedication and the sacrifice of veterans. That's what November 11th Veterans Day is all about. But for the Dallas Cowboys, they kicked off the celebration a little bit early. Charlotte Jones and National Medal of Honor Museum President Chris Cassidy hosted a luncheon for all 200 construction workers that have worked on the project. And of the 200, 25 are veterans, so they honored them during the lunch, awarding them with 2 premium tickets to the Cowboys-Eagles Salute to Service game on Sunday, along with Zach Martin National Medal of Honor Museum cleats.
To be able to share this day with the veterans and workers who are involved in putting this monument together for our nation's greatest heroes, our Medal of Honor recipients. I don't think I could be in a more meaningful place at this time, but to be able to share it with our players who have a keen recognition and appreciation for the sacrifice of the 40 million men and women who have served our country. This is a powerful day, and it's a powerful thing to be a part of.
And just as the Cowboys have made it a priority to recognize veterans in their service, they also recognize Zach Martin, naming him the NFL Salute to Service Award nominee for the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, it's just a huge honor, right? I mean, I just have so much respect for veterans in general, right? I mean, we talk about sacrifice a lot in our world, and it really doesn't compare to voluntarily go out there and lay it on the line for the rest of the people in the country. So I just have immense respect for those people, and it's a great feeling to be mentioned in that category of people.
Here's some pins that we also received as well. It says, "Thank you for your service." 12 Dallas Cowboys players and myself also got a chance to get an exclusive tour on the project to see how it's coming along. And even though there's some months more until this project is finished, like Charlotte Jones said, March 2025 cannot come any sooner. Reporting here for Special Edition, I'm Nicole Hutchison.
Always great, honoring those who have served our country and continuing to salute to service throughout the entire month of November. And of course, the Cowboys wearing their bicentennial helmets this week with the red stripe alongside the red, white, and blue on the top of the Cowboys helmet against the Philadelphia Eagles. But when we come back, how can the Cowboys get a win? Trayvon Diggs will be back in the fold for the Cowboys as they look to try and slow down this Philadelphia offense. Keys to the game wraps up Special Edition next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Special Edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wrapping up Special Edition on Cowboys-Eagles week here from the Lone Star State. Barry Church, keys to the game. How do the Cowboys get a win?
Easier said than done, but you got to make Jalen Hurts a pocket passer. You cannot let him escape on the outside.
Isaiah.
You got to outscore them. You got to outscore these guys. That's just the reality of the matter. Their offense is very, very explosive.
No turnovers, no penalties, and be as efficient as you can.
What about the win? Who gets the win this week,
I
Nate
would
Newton?
never go against the Cowboys. I don't know how they're going to win it, just win it by the skin of your teeth. 1 point.
1 point, baby. We are back and better than ever. Special edition. If you want to come say hi to us, we'll be out at AT&T Stadium this week on the AT&T East Plaza. Cowboys pregame live starting off at 2 p.m. Central Time. We'll be out there early. Giveaways. We've got Yeti bags that we're going to be giving away. There's a lot of good stuff as well. Don't miss it. Cowboys pregame live this Sunday. Cowboys Eagles. We'll see you there.